Hello and welcome, friends! Frenzy here, bringing you more Kerbal Space Program mod overview. Today we're looking at procedural fairings, not procedural wings or procedural parts that we saw already, but procedural fairings. Not surprisingly, that includes fairings. There are some other mods that you can use that do have fairings, such as KW Rocketry. I believe Nova Pack also has fairings, but these are procedural, so they will, as you're about to see in a moment, adapt to your rocket, and you'll see that blue outline kind of showing you what that fairing is going to look like. Then you take on these handy dandy little conic fairings or egg-shaped fairings. I believe you use the conic first, which gives you kind of a missile-shaped fairing. You'll see me pointing out something sticking out there, so this is kind of one of the things here, but cool thing you can do, you can adjust that fairing ring to give you more or less. You see a giant fairing. Can give you more or less, depending on what your needs are. So this is one of the beauties of procedural fairings, and I think it's a really good mod if you're planning to keep on playing Kerbal Space Program into 1.0. For what we understand, the devs have said it is going to be, they're going to be procedural fairings in the game. Whether or not they'll work, like this, remains to be seen. But it's a good thing to get you kind of ready for 1.0 as well. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using Ferrum Aerospace Research, or FAR if you're familiar with it, and this is another mod at some point we'll go into, to show us the drag being applied to our vehicle. Those bright yellow spots, that's the drag being applied to the vehicle, and you can see not a lot. This is very, aerodynamic rockets. You'll see a little bit on the nose cones, but not too much. You'll see the biggest is the engines, as well as those Sepatrons on the side are pretty bright yellow, so those are creating a little bit of drag. But overall, not bad at all. Obviously, this mod is really only useful if you're using far or near. If you're using stock, until, of course, 1.0, you'll see that it doesn't do too much in stock. But you'll see it's glowing bright as we flip over, making this thing completely unaerodynamic, just to kind of demonstrate to you guys, to show you the difference from a rocket going straight up with those procedural fairings. So it makes a huge difference. And that's why, if you're using far, if you're using near, it's almost a must to use some kind of fairing, mod, whether that's KW or not. I like the procedural, so you're gonna see here what I'm gonna do is show you what it's like without those fairings. So underneath there's some wings that were kind of under there, so all of those little probe. You can see without that fairing, now there's being significant drag applied to the spacecraft because the fairing isn't protecting it. So that's a really cool thing. So if you're one of those people who love to build rockets that look realistic, this is going to be awesome for you, because not only does it just look cool, but it also protects your rocket, makes it easier to get into the atmosphere. And you see me cutting off the engines, and we're going to go ahead and tip this thing over and just have a little bit of fun here. But again, it's one of those mods which, really is extremely useful if you're using any kind of aerodynamic mod to change your aerodynamics, where aerodynamics actually matter. And what video would it be complete without an explosion at the end? We're going to go ahead and bounce, literally bounce this thing off the ground here, as it decided to have a little bit of rebound there. But we're going to go ahead and save it. Let's save this thing if we can, just to have a little bit of fun at the end. Again, you just see that aerodynamic force being applied to the wings and to the vehicle as it moves without that fairing. Again, demonstrating how important it is. But hopefully you've enjoyed this quick overview of procedural fairings. Go out, try it if you're interested. Please feel free to like, subscribe, as well as make suggestions in the comment of any other mods you would like to see me overview. Hopefully you've enjoyed this as we come in for a graceful touchdown towards right next to the Kerbal Space Center. Again, I'm Frenzy, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, no.